I just downgraded to the non-HD basic Netflix plan, and I feel fine. Hi folks, and welcome to a potentially interesting deep dive. So a few weeks back, Netflix announced it was upping the price on all its plans here in the US and Canada. And with the price of Netflix jumping by 11 to 25% since around 2020, that got me wondering, could I save a decent amount by downgrading to a cheaper Netflix plan? And perhaps just as importantly, could I tolerate the lower video quality and more limited features? So today we're going to take a look at that bottom tier non-HD level of Netflix service and see what it can do. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one out there who initially wrote off the basic plan as a non-starter due to its limitations. But times are different, and some of you out there may be interested in reevaluating how you spend your streaming money. So let's see what that basic Netflix plan can offer. What is the Netflix basic plan? Okay, so let's set the stage, shall we? Here in the US, Netflix subscribers can choose among 3 distinct tiers, each with their own features and capabilities. At the highest end, there's the premium plan, which runs for $19.99 per month. That plan gets you access to 4K or Ultra HD streams for content that supports the resolution, and you can also watch on up to 4 different screens at one time. Move down one rung on the ladder and you get the standard plan, which caps out at 1080p or full HD video quality, and you can watch up to 2 screens at one time. And then there's the basic plan that limits video quality to sub-HD resolution and only 1 screen at a time. And according to the Test Pattern series on Netflix, which displays your current video resolution, the basic plan tops out at 960 by 540 resolution, otherwise known as lowercase QHD. That resolution features precisely 1/4 of the pixels of Full HD or 1920 by 1080. Why would I downgrade to the basic Netflix plan? Well, I'm glad I asked that question. So like we said at the top, a few weeks ago Netflix revealed price hikes for each of its 3 plan options here in the US and Canada. And as someone who's stuck with the middle-of-the-road standard plan for ages, I wondered whether dropping down to the basic option would be worth it in terms of actual cost savings, as well as our overall enjoyment of the service's content. Now, it's natural for folks to explore other pricing options whenever any service announces a price hike. It offers a chance to reevaluate what you're spending versus what you're actually getting from a given service. And in Netflix's case, the move from standard to basic represents an extra $5.50 per month or $66 per year. Meanwhile, downgrading from the 4K plan all the way down to the basic plan would save you $10 a month or $120 per year. While that may not seem like a huge amount in savings on its own, it certainly adds up if it's just part of your overall cost-saving strategy. And of course, not everyone is realigning their priorities for the same reasons, but if you're at all interested in saving money wherever you can, it helps to explore what's available and what it's like to actually use. So let's explore, shall we? What's it like to use Netflix's basic plan? So a good place to start when you're signing up for a streaming service or considering changing plans is to take stock of where exactly you intend to watch your content. In our household, we rarely, if ever, seek out more than one Netflix stream at any given time, so the simultaneous screen support of the standard and premium plans isn't all that alluring to us. And while we do watch some content on smaller TVs in an office or bedroom, the vast majority of our Netflix viewing occurs on our LG OLED 4K TV. So that begs the question, how does non-HD content look on a large 4K screen? The basic answer is definitely not as sharp and detailed, but perhaps not as bad as you'd expect. In normal viewing, we sit about 8 to 10 feet away from our 55-inch TV. And from that distance, the difference is noticeable if we're thinking about it, but not so distracting that we don't enjoy the content that we're watching. Move in closer and you start to notice the lack of edge detail and blurry text much more. There's a recliner in our living room that's just a couple feet away, and if you're watching from there, the resolution loss is hard not to notice. We fired up the Test Pattern series on Netflix, which displays a bunch of audio and visual-based diagnostic info and test patterns. And like we said earlier, on our basic plan, even the 4K rated episode topped out at a displayed resolution of 960 by 540. Despite that deficit, many 1080p and 4K TVs offer some level of upscaling support, so if you do opt for the non-HD route, it's worth exploring those features to get the most out of those sub-HD videos. If you want a rough example of what it might look like on your given display, you can try out the quality settings on YouTube. Pick out a high-quality video, like a trailer for an upcoming Netflix show, and head into the quality settings and select 480p. Now, video codecs and resolutions may vary, but that should at least give you a fairly decent approximation of what to expect. I've also tried out the basic plan on secondary 1080p TVs, iPads and iPhones, and on laptops, and the quality difference is definitely less noticeable on smaller screens, especially if you're not watching up close. And by the way, that screen limitation also applies if you, say, switch from your smart TV's built-in Netflix app to a connected streaming device's own version of the app. So even though both apps are being displayed on the same TV, you might need to close one out if you're switching to another. Just a heads up there. Sidebar: can the NVIDIA Shield TV's AI upscaling improve Netflix's basic video quality? NVIDIA's Shield TV line has been a popular streaming choice for years now, and it boasts some interesting capabilities. One in particular might come in handy for anyone viewing lower quality video. The Shield's built-in AI upscaling aims to intelligently sharpen and enhance low-res video to improve overall quality. You can check out our earlier video on the topic here, but since we had a Shield TV Pro in-house, we thought we'd give it a try. You can set the upscaling feature to 3 different strength levels, and a demo mode lets you easily compare standard upscaling to the AI-based approach. Now, of course, everyone's tastes are different, but we settled on the low strength as it offered a noticeable improvement over the basic upscaling without looking too overprocessed or over-sharpened. So if you have access to a Shield TV device, the AI sharpening could improve the non-HD picture quality, though don't expect pristine 4K level detail. Definitely worth a shot though. When does the Netflix basic plan make sense? For some users, that basic Netflix plan might just be too limited for their taste, and that's totally fine. But there certainly are use cases where I could see this being a useful, dare I say enjoyable option. The most obvious use case is for subscribers who only view Netflix on one screen at a time, as opposed to, say, a household full of streamers. Plus, if a significant portion of your viewing is done on mobile devices like smartphones and tablets, or on your desktop or laptop, the basic plan's video resolution cap might not be that big of a deal. Who should avoid the Netflix basic plan? Well, if none of that previous section applies to you, then the basic plan probably isn't the right fit for you. If you're on that 4K premium plan and you're looking to save a little money, now that it costs $20 per month, the drop down to standard isn't all that steep in terms of video quality. Opinions can certainly vary, but 1080p video on a 4K screen can still look pretty darn good, and so long as you don't need more than 2 simultaneous screens, the standard plan could be a solid middle ground. Wrapping it all up. So what did I learn? Well, I learned that there is a noticeable drop in video quality not just from 4K down to sub-HD, but also from 1080p down to sub-HD. What matters though is whether or not that difference is worth the extra monthly cost in your particular situation. And if you weigh the pros and cons and you come out thinking that you can get by with a basic level of Netflix plans, then by all means, give it a shot. Meanwhile, if you're on that top-tier 4K capable level and you're thinking of saving a little dough each month, maybe give that standard tier a try as well. I've been using that plan on my main TV, and honestly, I don't miss that extra detail. Again though, your mileage may vary, so definitely take a close look at how you personally use your Netflix account and consider whether a change in plan might be in order. Yes, it would be neat if the streaming service offered more options, like maybe a basic plus tier that adds HD video but maybe not simultaneous screen support. But I wouldn't hold my breath for that. You can adjust your Netflix streaming plan via the account settings menu. Just click on the change plan link in plan details and adjust as needed. In our case, the plan change took effect after our next billing cycle, so there might be a delay in your case as well. And if you do end up hating the experience, Netflix makes it easy to go back to your earlier plan as well. In any case, have you been reevaluating your streaming needs of late? If so, feel free to share what changes you've made or which ones you're considering for the future. You might just give your fellow cord cutters and streamers out there some new ideas on how to save some money each month. And of course, thank you all for watching. If you haven't done so already, please do consider clicking on those like and subscribe buttons down below. Those are both excellent ways to help support our channel, and it enables us to keep producing more and more videos in the future. For now though, my name is Philip Palermo. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care.